Hi there. Hi. All right, so today I wanted to just talk a little bit about the elementals, the elder elemental spirits of fire, water, earth, and air. A couple different times this week, I've been invited into either ritual or visualization kind of meditation practice that incorporated and kind of called on these elementals for their support. Each one offers a unique medicine. And when I was talking with a friend yesterday, I realized that working with the elements might be something that's very new for a lot of people. And for me, I just know that when the elements were first introduced to me, right, this idea of understanding maybe even our astrological signs, right, through an earth sign or a water sign, air sign or fire sign. And when I first thought about the signs like that, they just made a lot more sense. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about the elementals and kind of the unique medicine that each one of these spirits have to offer us. So I'm going to start with fire. Fire is bright and hot and burns so fast. Fire also needs to be tended, right? Fire can sometimes be a little bit unpredictable, right? And hard to pin down. And at the same time, fire actually really thrives under containment and kind of structure, right? I think of like a fire pit or like our cooking flames or even a candle in our home, right? That's a very contained way for us to commune with fire. We wouldn't just like build, right, like a open fire in our house without knowing the consequences would probably mean sacrificing everything to fire. And so on that note, I'll say that fire brings quick change and fast transition. It also can be all-consuming, right? Where it's, it doesn't necessarily choose. It just kind of creates a very clear slate. I also think of the energy of kind of like fire and water mixed, the lava, right? And this idea of like kind of full, like pulsing, transformative change. So that switches me to then the elemental spirit of water. Water is, especially when compared to fire, a little bit slower moving, and at the same time, water can flow or water can crash, right? And water can fall in a rhythmic pattern that just beats almost like this like fury and rhythm, right? I think of like the rocks next to a waterfall. Water is ever flowing, water is healing, water is life. Water also can change, but sometimes the change that we see water do is so much slower than fire, right? I think of like the Grand Canyon, right? And how that slowly ever flowing trickle of water in the river, and not even trickle, like flow, force of water can gently erode the land, right? Water, many have invited us recently to give our grief, give our pain and our doubt and our panic and our shame and our fears and our insecurities over to the water and ask with so much love and respect and reverence and gratitude for the water to take and hold those burdens for us and really carry those and allow them to be transmuted and kind of like changed and evolve, but also like letting it just be held by the energy of water and letting that energy take it away and trusting that the water can heal all of that, right? Water is often associated with the emotions. Truthfully, out of like all of the elements, I'll say like water has probably been one that has been calling for my attention over the past few months, both with And not maybe for longer than that, because I live in a swampy area here in New Orleans where the land and water are kind of this like, they have this mixture, this balance, right? Like the land here is just wet, right? I think of like cypress roots that like grow up because the water or the land is so wet that their roots aren't getting enough air, and so their roots start to reach for the sky, which I guess transitions us into talking a little bit about air, right? Air, our breath, right? Another way that we are given life. Air is often associated with this mental aspect of ourselves, like our intellect kind of thinking. But air also is all encompassing. It's something, it connects us all. It blows, the wind blows through every community and blows through every environment. The wind and the air, carrier of our prayers, right? Many believe that the wind, if we whisper, yell, or sing our prayers to the wind, that it will be carried to our ancestors and carried to our guides and protectors and spirits, right? Air to me is also very much about like speaking truth, right? I feel like a lot of, for me at least, like my throat chakra area feels like this kind of like air elemental sometimes. I think that air calls us to gain new perspective, right? To see things from new heights. It can encourage us to shake things up, blow things around, right? It can clear the dust away and help us, like I think of like trees during a storm. Sometimes that wind is the only thing that helps them to shake free of what doesn't serve them anymore. They can drop leaves that aren't serving them. They can shake debris that's just been settled in them but doesn't serve them, and it can fall to the ground. Similarly, it might pull off full branches that are like just not, like they're gone now. Now we have more room to grow, right? And then the medicine of water, or we did talk about the medicine of water, healing emotions. Yeah. Water really calls for us to be fluid and flowing. I think one of the biggest calls I've had from water is to let go of the shore and trust that the river will carry me, and stop fighting the flow, but allow myself to be carried, and trust that the flow of life is bringing me exactly where I need to be, bringing you exactly where you need to be, bringing all of us exactly where we're supposed to be, so that we can do the work we came here to do, and we can create this beautiful paradise that we all are here to manifest, to bring into being here. The element of earth is the final element we haven't talked to. Earth, to me, I feel so akin to the earth. The earth is our home. It can hold all of us, so many diverse forms of life, so many ways of being, and yet she holds us all. Yeah. The biggest message I've been getting from Earth recently is that she offers her strength to us, right? All we need to do is send our roots down into the earth and feel the support of her strength. Earth is often associated with the material world, the physical plane, right? Our felt reality, our right? We're not like in our emotional space. We're not in our mental space, right? We're not in our more like fiery creative space, right? We're in this very grounded, real world. Earth to me feels very steady, right? Very steady until it's not, right? Because I think of earthquakes and how like quickly the earth can be shaken, and really how much force, but also how it can happen really quick, right? So steady until it's not, but also like ever changing, right? Our mountains and the land, it's ever changing. I think of this nutrients. I think one of the ways that I give to the land personally is I compost. To me, allowing the organic material that comes from the fruits and vegetables that I eat, giving that back to the land, to me is like an offering to the land. I recognize that the materials are going to decompose and offer nutrients to the land. And it's something that I've just felt that we haven't been doing enough, right? And we need to give back. We need to give back to the land. So the way I do it, I have a very simple, like 3 milk crates stacked, and I'll kind of fill one milk crate and then I'll rotate it down. I'll fill the next one, rotate it down, fill the next one, rotate it down. And then by the time that happens, that final one's pretty ready to be like mostly dirt. So I have like a mostly dirt compost pile that I put it in. You don't need a lot of space to do this. It can definitely smell, but truthfully, it's like I live in probably one of the most humid, damp spaces, and it's not so bad. And it can be buggy, but I just put like, if you put paper over it, so paper bags, old napkins, whatever, like, that will decompose and add some of that dry material to help it from being so wet and yucky. Anyways, getting distracted by my love for compost. Yes, so the elementals. I think that for me, and the message that feels like it wants to move through is that these, like this like quadrant, the 4 of them create this really stable base of support for all of us. And that we can call on their medicine at any time, right? And I think kind of how I alluded to like lava, right? Being like fire and water, that they all interact with each other. Some in really complementary ways and some in really oppositional ways. I know that for myself, I'm definitely ruled by Earth. Taurus moon, Taurus sun, rising in Capricorn. I have something else in Capricorn too, but I also have a lot of air. My Venus and my Venus is in Gemini and my Mercury are in Gemini. And so personally, I can feel sometimes this like really steady groundedness and this like air that's like, so that can be really challenging, right? But there's also this this beauty that can come from the opposition. I also, the reminder that like water can really like also like stifle fire, and air can also like be really, really beneficial for helping fire get its strength. And air can really agitate water, right? Like the waves and the agitation. So it's just, I guess, an invitation to just really attune into the different elemental energies and to just notice how that feels for you and what kind of messages they might have for you. And I feel right now that it might be beneficial to do a quick little visualization. So I'm gonna lead us in that. And so feel free to pause right here and get somewhere you can be really comfortable, or do what feels right for really getting settled here. I really like to have hands on myself, hands on my body, either like kind of stomach, lower body, or sometimes on my chest and heart. And let's just take a couple really good breaths here. Let ourselves settle in. And as we settle here, imagine that a grounding cord or some roots are extending from the base of your spine or the bottoms of your feet into the ground and really, really anchoring you here. I invite in the elder elemental spirits of earth, water, fire, and air. Thank you, fire, for your warmth and your transformative power. Thank you for your healing. Thank you, water, for your cleansing nature and your gentle healing, an invitation to release. Thank you for being a part of us and holding us. With much love and gratitude, we welcome you here. Air, blowing new beginnings, carrying our prayers, inviting in fresh perspective. Thank you for your wisdom. We welcome you here. Earth, our home. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for your support. Thank you for holding us and giving us all that we need to survive. With so much love and so much gratitude, we welcome you here. Welcome fire, welcome earth, welcome air, welcome water. I invite you now to offer up your own thanks and gratitude to each of the elemental spirits. Offer up 2 very tangible thank yous and appreciations. Tune into your body here and really feel into where the elementals may live in your body. Invite one of the elementals forward now to share wisdom with you. Trust that the elemental that steps forward is exactly what you need in this moment in time. Take a moment here to really tune in to their wisdom. As you feel ready, send your thanks to that elder elemental spirit that stepped forward to commune with you. Settle back into this space, settle back into your body. We send so much thanks and gratitude to each of you elementals for being here with us in this moment. Thank you, bright fire, for your warmth and your transformation. Thank you, flowing water, for your cool, gentle healing. Thank you, boisterous wind and air. For your strength and your force and the bringing of new perspectives. And thank you, Earth, for showing us how to hold space for the diversity of all of life. Thank you for your nurturing support and your unwavering strength. Close this ritual visualization with a prayer of gratitude to any of the elementals, all or whichever are communing with you now. We thank you. We close this space with so much love and gratitude. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Yeah, so I really just invite all of you to stay really curious with the elementals and really just feel into their energy. It can be really helpful when you're doing this to kind of gather objects that represent each elemental. So like a bowl of water, a candle, maybe like a feather, or if you like to burn herbs, the smoke can be both a representation of fire and air. And then a bit of earth. I really like rocks and stones and dirt, but whatever works for you, shells and all of that, bark, plant allies. Yeah, feels really good to be able to lean into the support of these elemental energies. And I think that the more that you tune into them and the more that you tap into their frequency and kind of notice their energies, that they'll really begin to share a lot of wisdom with you if they are not doing that already. Lots of wisdom to be found in these very simplistic, ancient elements. Yeah. Yeah. So much love to you. Thank you so much. Be well. Take care of yourself. Do what needs doing. I love you.